Experience the match again, Newcastle United versus Man City in the Carabao Cup first leg semi-final at St James's Park. This is the place for all of your Newcastle United match experience content in one place. Don't miss an upload by subscribing to my channel. Join me, shall you? Thank you. It's never good to be home in a two-legged affair. I can remember back to the Fairs Cup and the Europa League, etc., when if we were home first, invariably we would lose the two-legged affair. However, it's different now. The away goals don't count, so that's a massive plus, to be honest. Eddie talked about the crowd, about using that as an advantage, and making the most of the first leg. So we'll have to wait and see, won't we? He was asked about how he prepared for the game and what team Pep might put out. I've coined the phrase Tinkerman. It's hard to predict, Eddie said, which team Pep will select on the night for the first match. Having said that, he has a huge arsenal of players who are all of international standard that can come on and make the difference. It's a tough game for us, but after the last two matches, Leeds and Bournemouth, I believe we're up for this. It's never ideal playing 120 minutes in extra time, both physically and mentally, especially when the penalties were on. It's very, very difficult. How that will impact us on Tuesday night, it's really down to Eddie, the players, and what the medical staff and performance staff say individually about each player. Over the years, it's been rare for us to have two wingers that are so brilliant at what they do and how creative they are and how productive they are. We need to make the most of this while we have them. PSR is still with us until the end of June. I really don't see us doing anything in this transfer window, to be honest. But you never know. So in summary, the key talking points from Eddie's press conference: Tino to have a scan when his swelling goes down on his hamstring injury. There's no definite return date for Kraft. We have to wait and see on January transfers. PSR is still Newcastle's problem. Burnley's a couple of weeks away, apparently. How on shootout hero Ramsdale. Really pleased for Ramsdale. Decision on target, who's it, loan at Middlesbrough very soon. Do we get him back? In Man City, obviously the toughest team to play over two legs in the League Cup semi-final. So enjoy the match, everyone. So let's look at the current form. Let's start with Newcastle. Obviously, we know it very well. We've had two very exciting finishes. We seem to be playing right to the end of the match now. Barnes likes scoring, and we seem to be picking up some penalties, mainly because we're getting in a box a lot more and we're running directly at them. That's my theory, anyhow. Overall form, strong attacking, obviously in flashes, but defensively, with all our injuries, it's just a nightmare. And we keep saying we don't want to lose anymore, and we lost Tino the weekend. Eddie's not at fault. If he's left with these resources, that's all he's got. So we're just going to have to live with it, folks, I'm afraid. Obviously, Man City. I mean, the biggest squad in the world, probably the best team in the world. If you ignore what Chelsea did in the summer, um, the Pep likes winning. He's I think he's over 70% of his matches he wins with Man City, which is quite astonishing. And they're good at keeping goals out, especially in this competition. But we I think we'll score a couple or at least one in this match, as we might get a draw out of it. But my prediction is coming up. Quick look at the form guide here. A lot of green on both sides, which means they're winning matches. So, how will the tie be decided? I guess obviously tactics and keeping the ball is one way of doing it. Defensive discipline versus attack. I'm not sure if we're there at the moment. Midfield battles, we're definitely there. We have a very strong 3 and 4 if you include Miley. Home support, well, we obviously got that in this first leg, and that is massive, according to Eddie and the players. We're not into rotation because our squad strength is depleted due to all the defensive injuries. So my prediction is it's still a strong team. I'd start with Visser and not Big Nick in this one. I'd go for speed, although we might need the height to keep Haaland out. I've gone for a 2-2 draw, or we lose 2-1, I'm afraid. But I'm hopeful. We're at home, so let's get into them. Away the lads. Eddie's announced his team for this evening, so let's take a look. Newcastle United against Man City, League Cup semi-final, first leg. So this is my first look at the team as it's come out, so I've not read it before I'm talking about it. Newcastle United against Man City. Pope in goal comes in for Ramsdale. Hall, Botman, Joe Linton, Visser, Gordon, Chow, Murphy, Bruno, Ramsey, Miley. On the bench, Ramsdale, Trippier, Tonali, Barnes, Elanga's back, Big Nick, Willock, Alex Murphy and Neve. So we're seeing the midfield of Bruno, Joe Linton and Ramsey. I'm assuming that Miley is playing at the back. And then we got Gordon and Jacob Murphy on the wing, and Visser up front. So, right move for Pope for Ramsdale, in my view, and Trippier. He's not the future now, so I'm happy for Miley to go in there. I guess Tonali and a baby that might be catching up on him. Barnes obviously played 220 minutes, 230 minutes, really. So he's probably knackered after his recent exploits. And yeah, Ilanga's back, so that's another option. And we'll see where we go tonight. So enjoy the match, everyone. Let's hope for the result, and away the lads. Half time, and it's 0-0. It's St James's Park against Manchester City. Newcastle are playing well. So Man City had us pegged back early on in the match, although we had the first real chance of the match when Visser from a Murphy cross just sliced it over the bar, let's say, which was a real shame. Newcastle after that were pretty much confident in the back. Sometimes we had 6, both Murphy and Gordon coming back to help the back line. Few fouls against Newcastle players. The ref not booking anyone early on, which probably would have stopped some of the fouls that are coming up a bit later in this half. So 25 minutes, Murphy crosses, Fisher over the bar and offside. So as I was saying, couple of fouls. Bruno was fouled on the 28th minute by O'Reilly with an elbow. No booking. A minute later, both O'Reilly and Joe Linton are booked after O'Reilly didn't like the handbags that were going on, and he threw an arm. But Joe got booked as well for the trouble. Only a minute later, 3 minutes later, 32, Hall is hacked down in no booking again. 35th minute, Hall to Bruno to Murphy. The cross is too near the goalie, unfortunately. For 36 minute, Gordon is fouled, and Nunes is booked it last, to be honest, but it should have come a lot earlier. The free kick comes in and it's blocked, and we get a corner. Man City break, Hall and Ramsey deal with that, thankfully. And then in the 39th minute, Visser had a great turn, but his ball didn't match the turn that he made. Murphy had been running around a lot and playing well. Unfortunately, he went down holding his hamstring and limped off, and Barnes came on to replace him. Man City then have three corners, and eventually we hook it away. Hall hooks it away, and the ref blows for half time. 0-0. Newcastle are playing well, very well. So let's hope we get a goal in the second half, and then this tie can go back to the Etihad in a couple of weeks' time. So if we have a quick look at the momentum chart here, you can see that actually we controlled the ball in the first sort of 10, 15 minutes, I guess, maybe 10 minutes. Man City then had an equivalent spell. We got back into it, and then it went up and down a little bit, and then you can see the green towards the end of the first half where we were attacking and when we had the chances. And then Man City came back in just before half time and kept the ball and attacked us. So all to play for in the second half. And Newcastle have lost 2-0. Heartbreaking. Man City scored with about 20 seconds to go, and that was their second goal of the night. I'll explain why I thought we played really well. We had the chances to stay in this tie and even take a lead to Manchester in the second leg. I'll explain why. We competed tonight. We played really well. Probably our best performance, even better than the Bournemouth and Leeds games. We played in a very controlled manner. We broke fast and we worked hard. But it wasn't to be, I'm afraid. Man City scored in about the 53rd minute to go one up. They had a VAR decision against them, which, to be honest, was a tough call on them. It was a very physical game. If we'd just had our shooting boots on, it would have been a different score tonight if we'd taken our chances. Right up to the end, even in the 9 minutes of added time, I thought we would score and come away with a draw, only for Man City to go up the other end with a last gasp goal. It was a great move, by the way. You can't take it away from them. The charts here, the attack momentum, Newcastle were well in this game and controlled long spells of it, just as Man City had two or three good spells as well. Big chances, we had four, they had two, and they got two goals. We had 10 shots and they had 11 shots. In the saves, we made three and they made two. Wasn't to be tonight. We go now to Manchester in about 2 or 3 weeks' time to try and get an early goal and get back into this tie. Away the lads. Let's see what Eddie had to say straight after the match. So Eddie obviously was down and disappointed, like we all are. The match didn't quite go our way at the end with Man City scoring a very late goal to make it 2-0. We had our chances on the night. Visser had a very early chance, and Eddie had this to say about it. Looking back with hindsight, you'd say that potentially a big turning point. We wanted to get the crowd fully into the match. Man City want to do the opposite by retaining the ball and calm the crowd down. Also, it's always that dynamic by the two teams. Shame really that Visser missed that very early chance. Les Ferdinand on ITV said he was rusty. Eddie still thinks we're in this game. I believe that as well. If we can get that first goal in the second leg, then it's match on. We went to Arsenal and won 2-0, so there's no reason why we can't repeat that. So we did get punished, Eddie said. He said there was a bit of fatigue in our performance, but he can't fault the players. Not that he would in front of the cameras. So it's a body blow, but it's not fatal, as we have the second leg to go to. As you can see, the YouTubers and the journalists had their say straight after the match. Eddie was asked a couple of more things about the City disallowed goal. He said he didn't really care. He was pleased that it was ruled out, obviously, like the rest of us. If it had been against us, I would have been really angry as well. But he's got no opinion because he hadn't seen it, he said, which is what he usually says. And any other manager says the same thing. On Semyon being allowed to play, he didn't say it was sod's law. I said it was sod's law. It's the rule, he said, so hey-ho. So there you go, really. We have a lot to do, and we have quite a few matches before we get to that game in mid-Feb. So enjoy the ride, people, and thank you for watching. Have a great day. Thank you for watching. If you like this, hit the like button and subscribe and be notified when I upload, which is normally about at least once a day, maybe twice a day, and then on match days about 3 or 4 times.